Let's talk to Norman Brennan, the former London police officer. He knows a thing or two about how things should be run and how they're not being run, because the story we got today, Norman, very good morning to you, is hundreds of foreign criminals freed from prison in the last 4 years have committed more than 40,000 crimes, and they should have been deported before they committed those crimes, and some of them are as serious as murder.
I agree, Mike. Where do you start? I mean, I was a police officer for 31 years in London. I've been involved in law and order for 46 years. I don't recognise my country anymore. And one of the big parts of why I don't recognise my country is that we do not have safe borders. We have people that come in undocumented. We don't know if they're terrorists, whether they've murdered or raped in their own country. And we only find out, Mike, when they actually commit that type of offence in Britain. And then when they're locked up, you would have thought that, rightly so, when they're released, they're deported immediately, taken from the prison gates to the airport and kicked out the country. Yeah. Oh no, what they do is they use our taxpayers' legal aid funds to the cost of millions for their rights of life. And what they do is they ask for all their rights. Well, they had no right to enter Britain in the first place. Now they're using the Human Rights Act. And you and I know, Mike, that the Human Rights Act was brought in to stop the atrocities at places like Auschwitz, and rightly so. Britain has lost control of our borders. We've lost control of the streets. And when you think we've got nearly 10,500 foreign prisoners in our prisons, what does that say about, A, the prison population and our ability to protect our borders and protect the people of this country?
Well, some of the detail in this story that was in the Telegraph the other day, it's quite staggering. Among those released from jail, one Ernesto Elliott, a Jamaican who had been jailed for knife crime but avoided deportation when he came out. He then appealed against his removal and murdered a 35-year-old man in a knife fight. In June 2021, a second Jamaican drug dealer, Lloyd Byfield, avoided deportation from Britain for a violent crime, went on to kill a young woman in her own home. There's dozens of these people.
What about the passengers that stood up on the plane and stopped somebody being deported? He then went on, as I understand it, to commit a murder.
He did.
Mike, how many years, and I'll probably be dead before we actually do anything, do you and me and all the right-thinking people in Britain have to say enough is enough? Britain has to have the right to protect its borders, and we put police officers on the streets to reassure the public and make sure our streets are safe and victims are looked after. While we're spending our time and millions of pounds pandering to foreign criminals that should never be here in the first place. I keep on posting on social media all of these stories and say, please, can someone make sense of this absolute nonsense? And everybody's just got their hands in their head in their hands saying, I don't know, where's our government? Where's the police? Where's the border control? Where's MI5? Where's MI6? We have the right to protect our borders. Mike, if somebody flew over in a plane into our airspace, that were alien plane, we send fighter jets up there to intercept them, bring them down and arrest them. Yet you can have 100 illegal migrants that come into Britain on a boat that are escorted by a coach to nice hotels and have nothing to worry about. I mean, there's a madness I don't understand that's happened in Britain, and nobody's got a grip, and we've got a government that's out of control, and I've never known one hated so much. I mean, I'm at a loss, really, what the answer is, because all the sensible answers you and me talk about, Mike, nobody seems to latch onto and say, absolutely.
It is extraordinary, isn't it? And I mean, the list goes on and on. Since we're talking about grooming gangs this week, we found out this week as well there's a guy called Kari Abdul Rauf, ringleader of an Asian grooming gang in Rochdale. He's still living in Rochdale, the town where he committed his crimes almost a decade after he was supposedly going to be deported, having come out of jail. You're right. You know, he's renounced his Pakistani citizenship. Apparently, they don't want him, so we can't send him back. It's ridiculous.
There's a simple solution to all of this, Mike, and you and I know it's logic. If you enter a country illegally, it's absolutely right, if you're in Britain, that you are arrested at the border because you're entering illegally, taken to an army barracks, not a four-star hotel, be processed to make sure that you've not been abused, you've got mental health issues or something that needs urgent attention, and get straight to an airport and get their asses out of this country. As soon as you tell everybody that You can enter Britain illegally. You're not going to go to a four-star hotel. You're not going to have everything for free. It's a madness I don't understand. As I'm talking to you now, I cannot comprehend how you can enter a country legally, drive past in a lovely warm luxury coach into a four-star hotel, while pensioners that have had their 300 winter fuel allowance taken see them waving at them out of a window, and it's them pensioners, the taxpayers, that are paying for all this. Mike, please make it make sense.
I know. I try to make sense of it every day, Norman, but we're still suffering, but we're going to get there. I believe this to be the year of common sense. We're going to make it change. We're going to make it happen. Norman Brennan, thank you very much indeed.